Hello, darling ones. It's Empress Lysa dancing in to share and speak into the truth that compulsive tendencies can be healed through shadow work. And as a recovered binge eater, I have to talk about this. But this is just not about eating disorders. This is actually about any compulsive tendency. If you are doing something without conscious control, what the heck is that about? How do you turn it around? And what is this actually hiding that we need to bring conscious awareness to? Welcome to my channel. This is Lysa Black. I'm a healer and a mentor to gifted business leaders, those who really want to rise and make a difference in the world. 10 years in business has taught me, thousands of client sessions have shown me, and my own personal healing work is indicative that all of us need to do our own personal healing work to deepen into our truths so that we can rise on purpose. And there is nothing as powerhouse in this world than actually feeling alive and free to be who we really are and express that in the world. And business is really just a very convenient vehicle for doing that in my world. So today we're going to be talking about shadow work. I'm going to be talking very briefly and punchy into what's going on with compulsion, what you need to see and how you can turn that around. And I'll be referencing my own personal stories, which I always love to do because it's no good talking about other people. It's really important to hear from somebody, their own personal story, because gosh, isn't it easy to see other people in their stuff? Seeing it in ourselves is honestly the most difficult thing. So I am dancing in. Great, checking audio that you can hear me. And one of the most important things to understand that when you see yourself repeatedly making the same mistake, when you are going into judgment again and again that you're doing something wrong or bad or stupid or foolish or inconsiderate, whatever it may be, across the board, this is a reflection that there is a part of you that does not have safety and permission to be expressed in this world. Now, one of the biggest aspects for me that wasn't expressed in this world was my psychic gifts and my sensuality. They're quite intertwined for some reason with me. That's my particular journey, to embody my sensuality and fully authentically express my sexuality in the world while owning, embodying, and embracing my spiritual gifts to allow them to guide my path and the paths of those who are led to my work. One of the most important things to understand was that anytime a knowing came up, a psychic awareness, or any time that I wanted to express myself sensually or sexually, I would turn to food. It's important to understand that this is not at the level of consciousness, and the iceberg is really the best metaphor or symbol to understand what's happening here. And we all capture the understanding that there's a certain amount that we're aware of in our conscious mind, and there's actually far beneath the surface that's beyond our conscious awareness. Now, if you are seeing compulsive tendencies that are popping up in gambling, overspending, sex addiction, substance abuse, there's all sorts of reflections, but it's very important not to get caught up in actually judging the behaviors. Remember, these behaviors are only symptomatic. And what's important to understand is that you'll have a whole past and a whole story around that. But the core of the element that I want to bring your loving attention to is the fact that there is a part of you that has not felt safe, known, acknowledged, and supported to fully express itself in this world. So until I was able to acknowledge that I wanted to use my gifts to guide my life and express myself sensually according to my own boundaries and my own construct of what that is to be authentically me sensually, I would overeat. And so that was a lot. It tended to be quite a few scenarios where that would happen. And I would be so distracted in judgment, in judging the eating, what I ate, when I ate, how much, what that was going to do to my weight, my clothing, blah, blah, blah. Very taxing to recall. I'm just stepping back into that mindset. This was 7 years ago. My son, who's turning 9 next week, was a little boy at this point. He was 18 months. Anyway, it's important to understand that when you go into judgment, that's when this is relevant for you. So anything that you can't stop yourself from doing, okay, and you go into judgment, really hold yourself in love and really powerfully ask yourself, there's a part of me that wants to express something. And I am on a soul devoted mission to find out what that is and what I can do to really free that and release it and find an appropriate, noble way to express that and embody that in the world, which for me is really making time and space to intuitively discern and feel into my belly. I often get premonitions and they would always put me off. I would know things about people that I didn't want to know, and that's just my life. I've accepted it, and I have to pay attention to that information. If I don't pay attention to that information, it unconsciously scares me, and I tend to turn to food to comfort and reassure myself, which sometimes is fine, and compulsively it's not, because you don't always need that much food. So in regards to expressing my sensuality, I want to let you know that with my husband, I was able to transparently discuss this with him, and he knows my full background, and thankfully loves and adores me for being who I am, and was able to receive this part of me and within the bounds of what him and I have decided is appropriate and acceptable and worthy and noble. And expressing this part of me has meant that I feel so much more fulfilled. I feel so much more embodied and integrated into my truth. And I want to relay this to you because all of us have it in an area. And this year, I'm really supporting myself to fully embody myself in every role, in every sphere, and within every context, whether people like, approve, and accept of it or not. And that's my sacred invitation to you. The sacred parts of you that you don't make space, time, and find appropriate ways to express will hijack your consciousness, force you into compulsive tendencies, and confuse you and leave you lost in self-judgment and self-ridicule. But beautiful one, all of you is worthy, all of you is pure, and it's safe for you to express all the sacred parts of you one at a time, as you're ready, as you're intuitively led, so you can be fully self-expressed in this world. That's my love and blessing to you. May you see the sacred parts that are calling for sacred expression in your life and allow yourself to embody them, and tell me what you think. If you've got any questions about this, comment below. If you are somebody who wants to deepen into your truth and rise on purpose, I'd love to invite you to subscribe. I talk about self-healing. I love shadow work. I mentor business owners and talk about how to truly embody our truth and allow it to be sacred medicine in this world through our businesses. If you would like to do this on a business level, I would love to invite you into my business support group on Facebook, where I talk more intimately within the context of business. And if you want a book that can guide you into owning and accepting your shadow, definitely look at my heart healing book, The 13 Principles of Emotional Self-Healing, where you can start to understand and navigate your inner world so that you can feel more free and content to be who you are. Thank you for being here. My love and blessings are with you all. Have a glorious, glorious week wherever you are. Mwah.